Investors and traders, welcome to the channel Market Chart Pattern. Today is 8th of January 2025. Hope everyone had a great day. We'll take a look at the Forex markets in this video. So we'll be covering dollar index, then we'll turn over to the British pound, also known as cable, Euro USD, and then we'll take a look at Australian dollar and also Canadian dollar. Both of these markets are actually at really interesting points. So I'll begin to cover forex markets, these major pairs at least, and then we'll also take a look at some of the cross pairs such as GBP, JPY, and Euro JPY in the later on videos. So I'm beginning to expect quite a lot of movement volatility coming into the forex markets. So they are beginning to look interesting again. So it's going to be really useful to actually begin to follow these huge market. So basically follow the money. So as always, this video is for educational purposes only. It is not a financial advice. We'll start by taking a quick look at the dollar index. This is the weekly chart, and what we are looking at is the dollar is right in this zone that we had been waiting for. Let me try to blow it up for you. So the week is of course not closed yet, and then we have the holiday in the stock market tomorrow. Forex, because the global market, it will be open, but the volatility or the volume instead is the right word to use, might be less. So this is what we are looking at. We'll just keep on watching this. I would imagine the market might actually go into a trading range in this zone. And then if we take a look at this on the daily chart, then what we are looking at is basically this pattern formation here, and there is still a chance that market could rally a little bit. So I'm watching this pattern really carefully, but this 108 or 109 level roughly is a pretty good resistance, but it could rally a little bit and we could have a completed pattern like this, which is an ABCD, and we have some expansions coming in. Actually, let me draw the expansion right from here. So there we go. 109.72 is also possible, so we're just watching this carefully. Now let's actually get to the weekly chart, and I really want to show you what is happening with the cable. So this is the British pound. This is the weekly chart, and we have the symmetry. Here we go. So we have symmetric moves pretty much now. The market, it is indicating the move is a little bit pretty much where the market actually put in a low for this week. But the really important level to watch is on the weekly chart, this 122.60. This is the 38.2% retracement, and this is a big number because this is the retracement going back to the low that we saw in September of 2022. So we are actually right in this moment of truth for the British pound. And I'll show you on the daily chart. We had a really big pattern formation which took place. I have it illustrated on the daily chart much better, but on the weekly chart it was the 1.272 expansion of this range basically. And we have seen several weeks the market has just been going lower since end of September 2024 last year. Now it's reaching a point which is really interesting point and is a pretty good support level, and I believe there is a really good chance that we might actually see a CIT event take place, meaning a change in trend for the British pound. In other words, the dollar begin to actually weaken. This is the daily chart, and just want to show you the topping pattern here, which happened around September of last year. We had several of the ratios coming together. So we had the 1.272 expansion of the entire range. We had several of these ABCDs being completed. This is the smaller one in red, which is 1 to 1 exact, and then the black one is actually 1.272. I believe it's 1.272 of the AB leg. And then there were smaller ones. We had this 3 drives to a top pattern, which is in the shaded region. We had a number of ratios and patterns coming together, and whenever we have this situation where we have more than one ratio or patterns coming together, it's a level we pay really close attention to. because this is where the harmonics are converging, and it usually tends to be a really strong support level or a resistance level, depending upon the direction of the market, of course. Now here we go. On the downside, we have seen a huge move. Let me try to see what's the right tool to use. How much we have seen in terms of percentage lower thus far. So we have seen this market drop by 8.27%, and that is a pretty significant move for a market, which is traded $8 trillion on daily basis, and British pound is the third largest currency pair traded. The largest one is the Euro USD, followed by the Japanese yen versus the US dollar. And then we have cable, which is the third most volume wise largest traded commodity in Forex. Now, where we are at the moment, I'm going to actually move it a little bit here. This is the level where the market is. I had initially thought that this was also a 1.24, roughly was also probably a double bottom, and this is what I thought because of 1.27 to expansion. But because we were expecting the dollar to move a little bit higher, the expectation was that maybe it could still hold, but it did not. And what we have seen is an ABCD move, but it's an extension of the AB move. So we have a number of things coming together in this zone around one where it is pretty much right today. Actually, we're putting a low of 123.20, but we have also got that 38.2% retracement coming in around 122.60. So I believe this is the region we should pay really close attention to, because we could see some really good movements come around from this level. I think the best thing is to actually watch, go on the sidelines, because we have the non-farm payroll figures coming in on Friday. That even usually produces a fair amount of volatility in pretty much all asset classes, liquid asset classes traded. So it'll be really interesting to see what sort of maybe we get some head fakes in the market, and that might set the tone up for the next week. So watching these levels really, really carefully. British pound is the one to watch. Now let's go and take a look at in the Euro USD. So actually, let me go back to the weekly chart. So it is also very close to some really key levels. Let me actually tidy it up a little bit, get rid of these lines. Here we go. Okay, now it's approaching the 61.8% retracement of these lows from end of September 2022, so it goes quite a while. And from a symmetry, here we go, the move has actually exceeded a little bit from the symmetry perspective, but it's also approaching the 61.8% retracement. Now there's one thing that I have not done, but I should actually do it. That's the wrong tool to use. Here we go. And boom. Okay. So there we go. So we'll have a confluence of a number of things coming together right here in this zone. We have the 61.8% retracement, 1.27 to expansion of this. So we should pay a really close attention to this one. This is the level where it's very, very close to this level at the moment where it is trading right now. So let's just keep on paying really close attention to 1024 level, maybe a little bit lower here. Again, best to wait for the non-farm payroll data coming in on Friday. And there is a chance that we have also this smaller ABCD, and basically this pattern formation right here around 102 level. If I just round it off, we'll have a confluence of these patterns, the smaller ABCD. We have the larger ABCD in orange, And then we also have some expansions coming in. So 102 is a really key level to watch. Basically, pretty much where the market is trading right now. 103, 102. These are the really key levels to watch in the Euro USD currency pair. And now let's take a look at the USD JPY. So this pair has a lot of strength in the US dollar versus the Japanese yen, and maybe on the weekly chart there's a possibility we are actually in this ABCD here, so we could have this double ABCD being completed around 165 to maybe a little bit higher. 165 sorry 166 to 167 could be the region to watch really carefully on the weekly chart. And on the daily chart, here we go. So we have this 158 or 159 level, which could be some resistance. But I think that in this gray zone, which I've highlighted, while it is approaching the 11th of July 2024 highs, could also offer pretty stiff resistance, and we could see some sort of a pullback happen in this market before it makes a move higher. So this is interesting because we are expecting weakness in the dollar, but it's also possible that the Japanese yen might actually be even weaker. So interesting phenomenon coming up. Now let's take a look at the Canadian dollar. So this one is also very interesting. Here we go. This is the weekly chart for the Canadian dollar, and it is up against some pretty significant resistance around the 145 mark. It hasn't quite reached there, but we are beginning to see the signs of some reversals coming in. Of course, the week is not complete yet, but you can see that the 6th of Jan has kind of this week is maybe a close negative. So 145, 145.20, or in this ballpark figure of 144.85 to 145.30 is what we are looking at as pretty significant resistance. But sometimes these markets, the forex markets, they like to do a head fake, the kind of head fake we had here in March of 2020. So maybe it goes up, blip, takes the stops out right here, generates fair amount of liquidity in the market, and then we begin to see the market move lower. So watching these levels really carefully on the weekly chart. On the daily chart, you can see that there is some element of distribution here in this market. So this is what we are watching in the Canadian dollar versus the US dollar. And then moving on to the Aussie dollar. Here we go. So the Aussie dollar, some really interesting thing about the Aussie dollar is it's right sitting at the 78.6% retracement of the lows of March of 2020. So that is pretty significant, with a possibility of being a double bottom right here. And then we have a little bit of an expansion of 1.27 to from here as well. So this level, which comes in around spot 62, is very important support. So let me actually write this: key support. There we go. So this is the key support. Okay, now so we'll watch this. And the interesting thing is that last week, you can see in December, okay, it was end of the year as well. It was pretty much nothing really happened in that week, but for about 4 weeks approximately, it's kind of holding this level, and there is also, of course, the possibility of a double bottom right here. Now if we just move down to the daily chart, here we go. And the on the daily chart, we have the 1.272 expansion, which is also coming right here. And then of course that um, 78.6% retracement that we have seen from the weekly chart is right here as well. So really key to watch this 62 level. I think it's really interesting where this market is at the moment. Maybe it's setting up to rally as the dollar we are expecting to weaken in the next coming few weeks, maybe months. But you can see on the daily chart, it's such a weak momentum it is. It's just If the market rallies, it will be very interesting if we are able to head up to about 64, 65, which will be 38.2% retracement. So this is what we are watching in the key forex markets, and I will start to integrate more analysis for the forex markets by introducing the cross pairs as well. So we'll take a look at the British pound versus the Japanese yen, the euro versus the Japanese yen. These pairs move really, really fast. So if you happen to be trading these, they could be pretty fun to trade, but if you're on the wrong side, then they could be a big headache as well. And then let me see if any other currency pairs that especially crosses you want me to focus on. So please put those in the comments, and I'll try to integrate those as well. Maybe not cover them in each and every video, but maybe 2 times a week, 2 times a month, might do that. While we are here, let's actually take a look at the Bitcoin as well. There we go. So interesting. Bitcoin has actually closed lower for 2 consecutive days. I was watching for this 38.2% retracement, but looks like it went up to 61.8%. So I'm gonna remove that. So that changes the pattern a little bit. So here we go. So we could have this ABCD move right into this 86,000. That is a possibility. And if we just draw some expansions right here, um, here we go. So yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty important support, 88,000, 86,000 for this market. It does look like it's following this ABCD. The strength which came in right into the 61.8% retracement was sold. So it's just right exactly the 61.8% retracement. Had it been 38.2%, I think the move down could have been even stronger. But with this one, still we could see these levels. So this is what we are watching in the key markets for the forex and the Bitcoin. Thank you very much for watching the video. And if you happen to like our technical analysis, please subscribe to the channel. And if you do, then hit that bell icon button. That way you will know when the new videos are posted. And also, if you learned something from this video, then please hit that like button. I will really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Good luck, good trading, and speak to you guys soon.